Back in the 1960s, Ford changed the game with raw American muscle, leaving tire marks in the history books. But have you ever wondered which Ford muscle cars were the absolute fastest? Which ones dominated the streets and the tracks with pure power? From legendary classics to modern beasts, Ford has built some insane machines over the years. 1973 Ford Falcon XB GT. The 1973 Ford Falcon XB GT was a standout muscle car from the early 70s, a time often referred to as the golden age of muscle cars. During this era, brands across the US were pushing boundaries, constantly competing to create some of the most powerful cars on the road. While the Mustang was a dominant name in the muscle car world, the Falcon nameplate also had a strong presence, particularly with the 1973 XB GT model. Under the hood, the 5.7-liter 352 cubic inch V8 engine delivered 300 horsepower and 380 pound-feet of torque. Paired with a 4-speed manual transmission and rear-wheel drive, this muscle car could reach 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6.3 seconds and had a top speed of 132 miles per hour. Developed by Ford Australia, the XB GT was highly popular in the country. However, with the Falcon being discontinued in the US in 1970 due to declining sales, American buyers never got to experience this model upon its release. Despite that, the XB GT's performance kept it competitive with muscle cars available in the US during the same period. 1970 Ford Torino GT Cobra 429. The 1970 Ford Torino GT Cobra 429 was another powerful muscle car from Ford, standing alongside the Mustang and Falcon. The Torino followed a larger, boxier style, but it had the performance to back it up. The 1970 Torino GT came with several engine options, but the most powerful was the 7.0-liter Super Cobra Jet 429 V8, producing 370 horsepower and 450 pound-feet of torque. Paired with a 4-speed manual transmission and rear-wheel drive, this muscle car could hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6.6 seconds and reach a top speed of 136 miles per hour. With this level of power, the top-trim Torino GT Cobra 429 was able to compete with muscle car legends like the Dodge Charger and Chevrolet Chevelle. Its massive Super Cobra jet engine delivered straight-line speed, making it a serious contender in its class. 1994 Ford Mustang GT SVT Cobra. The 1994 Ford Mustang GT SVT Cobra proved that Ford was still building impressive muscle cars, even as the 1990s lacked the same legendary status as earlier decades. Stricter emissions regulations meant Ford could no longer produce powerhouses like the Torino GT, but the 94 Mustang GT SVT Cobra remained an underrated gem. Under the hood, the 5.0-liter 302 cubic inch V8 produced 240 horsepower and 285 pound-feet of torque. Paired with a 5-speed manual transmission and rear-wheel drive, it could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.9 seconds and reach a top speed of 137 miles per hour. Though its engine was smaller than past Mustangs, the SVT Cobra variant still delivered impressive performance. Today, the 1994 Ford Mustang GT Cobra remains a sought-after classic, with used models averaging around $8,000. 1987 Ford Mustang GT 5.0. The 1987 Ford Mustang GT marked a significant year for the Mustang lineup, receiving a major restyling that would carry through until 1993, the final year of the Fox body generation. Featuring the same 5.0-liter 302 cubic inch V8 found in the 94 Mustang SVT Cobra, the 87 Mustang GT delivered strong performance with 225 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque. Paired with a 5-speed manual transmission and rear-wheel drive, this model could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6.3 seconds and reach an impressive top speed of 143 miles per hour. While its horsepower figures might seem lower compared to other Ford muscle cars, the lighter Fox body design allowed the 87 Mustang GT 5.0 to remain competitive. 1967 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 Super Snake. The 1967 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 Super Snake remains one of the most legendary Mustangs ever built. Just 3 years after the first Mustang hit the streets, Ford teamed up with Carroll Shelby to create a high-performance version of the GT350. While the standard GT500 was already a powerhouse, Shelby developed a one-of-a-kind prototype, the Super Snake. Under the hood, the Super Snake swapped the GT500's 428 cubic inch Police Interceptor V8 for a 7.0-liter GT40 MK 2427 cubic inch V8, producing an astonishing 520 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque. With a 4-speed manual transmission and rear-wheel drive, it could launch from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.3 seconds and hit a top speed of 170 miles per hour. Originally, Ford planned to build 50 units of the GT500 Super Snake, but due to its high cost, the project was scrapped, leaving it as a one-of-a-kind masterpiece in Mustang history. 2016 Ford Mustang GT350. The 2016 Ford Mustang GT350, built on the S550 platform, marked a thrilling return for the legendary GT350 nameplate. Designed to commemorate 50 years of the Mustang, this model quickly became a standout in an ultra-competitive era of muscle cars. Under the hood, the 5.2-liter 315 cubic inch V8 delivered an impressive 526 horsepower and 429 pound-feet of torque, making it one of the most exciting performance cars of its time. Equipped with a 6-speed manual transmission and rear-wheel drive, the 2016 GT350 could launch from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.3 seconds and reach a top speed of 174 miles per hour. With this level of performance, the GT350 wasn't just competing with American muscle. It was taking on European sports cars, like the 2016 Porsche 718. It was the perfect way to kickstart the 6th-generation Mustang. 2003 Ford Mustang SVT Cobra. The 2003 Ford Mustang SVT Cobra was a game-changer, bringing back the raw power and excitement that had defined the Mustang's early years. After the less powerful engines of the 80s and 90s, Ford stepped up its game, creating a high-performance Mustang that set the stage for the powerful models that followed. Under the hood, the 4.6-liter DOHC V8 produced an impressive 390 horsepower and 390 pound-feet of torque, paired with a 6-speed manual transmission and rear-wheel drive. This powerhouse could launch from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.7 seconds. While it was electronically limited to 155 miles per hour, removing the limiter allowed it to reach an incredible top speed of 175 miles per hour. Although the 4th-generation Mustangs weren't as light as the Fox body models, the 2003 SVT Cobra proved that Ford's performance heritage was alive and well, setting the stage for even more powerful Mustangs in the years to come. 2020 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. The 2020 Mustang Shelby GT500 was built to make a statement, just like the original 1967 GT500 that shook up the muscle car world. With blistering speed and razor-sharp handling, this modern beast earned widespread acclaim from reviewers and enthusiasts alike. Under the hood sits a supercharged 5.2-liter V8, making it the most powerful production Mustang ever. This monster cranks out 760 horsepower and 625 pound-feet of torque, outclassing even the 2024 Mustang Dark Horse. With a 7-speed automatic transmission and rear-wheel drive, the GT500 rockets from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.6 seconds. While it may not have the highest top speed of Mustangs before it, it still maxes out at an impressive 180 miles per hour, proving that raw power and track-ready performance can coexist in a single machine. 2010 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. A decade before the 2020 GT500, Ford introduced the 2010 Mustang Shelby GT500, positioned in the middle of the 5th-generation S197 lineup. The model received a facelift for 2010, combining modern interior technology with impressive performance, staying true to Carroll Shelby's legacy. Under the hood, the 5.4-liter supercharged V8 produced 540 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque. While it lacked the aerodynamics of later models, the 2010 GT500 still managed to reach a top speed of 190 miles per hour, marking the beginning of an exciting era for the Mustang. 2013 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 Super Snake. The 2013 Mustang Shelby GT500 Super Snake carried the legendary Super Snake name into the modern era, delivering a combination of extreme power and exclusivity. Unlike the original 1967 model, which remained a one-off prototype, the 2013 version was produced in a limited run of 500 units, making it a highly sought-after collector's car. Beneath the hood, a monstrous 5.8-liter supercharged V8 unleashed 662 horsepower and 631 pound-feet of torque, propelling this Mustang into elite performance territory. This muscle car could reach 0 to 60 miles per hour. The Super Snake proved it wasn't just about straight-line speed, it was built to dominate. Topping out at a staggering 202 miles per hour, it became one of the fastest production Mustangs ever created. And there you have it, some of the most iconic, powerful, and fastest Mustangs ever built. From the legendary classics to modern-day beasts, each of these machines has left a lasting mark on the muscle car world. Whether it's raw horsepower, blistering top speeds, or that unmistakable Mustang roar, These cars continue to define American performance. Which Mustang on this list is your favorite? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more automotive content, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.